Hi guys, welcome back to the Makeup Hunter. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope that you are having a great start to 2022. Today I wanted to start a new short series on my channel for the new year. I'm going to be doing my 2022 makeup collection videos, so I'm going to be going through my entire makeup collection section by section, like category by category, and we'll be going through and I'll be showing you everything that I've got in my collection, probably be doing some swatches and just showing you how I am starting the year. I'm not sure what videos will have already gone live, but I have some pretty solid plans for my makeup collection for the year of 2022 and going forward, and I think this is a great way to sort of start me off, so we can see at the start of the year what I'm starting off with. I highly doubt there will be any decluttering done, because in December I did for myself, I didn't film it, I did my makeup inventory, and as I went through and counted all my products and went through with a fine tooth comb, I decluttered things then. So if I do see anything when I'm swatching that I think, you know, actually I'm happy to let that go, then I will do. But the purpose of these videos is just to sort of familiarise myself with what I've got, let you have a sort of nosy into my collection, rather than decluttering. So we are starting with my foundation, so primers, foundations and concealers today. I do have a lot. Just a disclaimer, I have more makeup than anybody could ever possibly need. I am aware of that, but makeup is my passion. It's really the only thing that I spend my money on, other than like clothing. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, you know, that is my addiction, that is my habit. But I will have talked a bit more about that in probably a video prior to this one. So I think that's enough for the intro. Let's get on with the video. But first of all, before we take a deep dive into my collection, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my makeup collection and more videos from me. If you like this video and you like this kind of content, then please do give me a like. It tells me, you know, that I'm doing something right. Leave me a comment. I try and reply to every comment that I get, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so this is the drawer that I keep my primers, foundations, concealers, a couple of tinted SPFs, correctors, that sort of thing. I have here some items that are in my stash, and as I say, I'm not sure whether I will have filmed the video and you'll have seen it before this one, but I am doing a project pan this year, so I've also pulled across items that are in my project pan. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than do what I usually do, which is dump everything out onto the bed, I'm just going to pull section by section and we'll work through that way. So I'm going to pull out all of my primers and things first of all, and we'll take a look at all of those. Okay, so I've laid out all my primers. Firstly, I'm just going to briefly touch on my two tinted SPFs. So these are the Heliocare Gel Colour Cream and the Sun Touch. These are both factor 50. I'll just show you the Sun Touch. So this is a little bit like Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, in that it does have a little bit of coverage to it, and it leaves like a lovely golden sheen. So that is the Sun Touch, and then the Gel Colour Cream is just like a light tinted moisturiser. So those are my only two tinted SPFs. And then I have primers. So included in my primers is sort of like glowy products, so things like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, the Say Super Glowy Gel, I think it's called, but I use them like a primer rather than like a liquid highlight. So starting off with the minis, I have the Milani Prime Perfection. This is just a very basic hydrating face primer. It's just a little sample that I got with an order. I do quite like it, but it's not something that I would repurchase, and this is one that I am trying to finish this year in my project pan. Then I have this little mini, which was with it was in a gift that my aunt got me one Christmas, so a Christmas a couple of years ago now. It's a skincare item from Estee Lauder. It's called the Global Anti-Aging Wake Up Balm, but it is like similar to the Sun Touch tinted SPF. It's a balm that has like a golden radiance to it, and I discovered that it looks absolutely stunning under foundation, and foundation sits really nicely on top of it. So this is also in my project pan, trying to finish it this year, and this is something that I could see myself buying a full size of when I run out of other things. So then I also have the Smashbox Primerizer. This is just like it's not a sample size, it's a mini that I purchased just to try. Absolutely love this. It's like a primer and moisturizer hybrid. Very light lotion, leaves the skin nice and plump and sort of dewy, ready for makeup, and makeup sits lovely on top of it. So this is another one that when I've moved through other items in my collection, I could see myself buying a full size. Then we have probably one of my favourite primers of all time. This is the Neoad Photography Fluid Opacity 12. This is sort of like Hollywood Flawless Filter before Hollywood Flawless Filter existed. It's a white shimmery lotion that just adds, it's called a photography fluid because it looks absolutely fabulous in photographs. It just perfects the skin and makes you look like you've got an Instagram filter on. It's just like a white lotion with a golden sheen, and as I say, makeup sits beautifully on top of it. It does great things for my skin, great things for my complexion. I absolutely adore this product. So that is the photography fluid. It's one that I have had in my collection for quite a long time, but it still smells absolutely fine. You know, it's not changed texture or anything like that. So next we have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is one that I tried in 2021 for the first time, and I do actually really enjoy this one. I like to combine this with a more glowy radiant primer, just for targeted areas like down the sides of my nose, in between my brows where I have more open pores. This will take me forever to get through, but I do absolutely love this. Okay, another all-time favourite primer is the Illamasqua Hydravale. Again, I've had this in my collection for a very long time, but it hasn't changed texture, smell, performs absolutely beautiful, so I'm holding on to it. This is a gel, like jelly consistency. Comes with this little spoon that you use to scoop it out, and on contact with the skin it just transforms into like a water. It's absolutely a stunning product. I love it. I have very dry skin, and this just creates a beautiful base for foundation. It extends the longevity of my makeup. My skin remains looking healthy and like plumped up during my makeup wear time. It's just stunning. I can't fault this product enough. Fault this product at all. Again, you get a ton of product, and I have so many primers in my collection that my favourites don't get the, you know, the love and attention that they deserve, but this is an absolute winner for me. A couple here that I haven't even tried yet. So the Milani Spf Bff. This is SPF 30 primer. It's UVA and UVB protection. I haven't even opened this or tried it yet, so I can't say what it's like. But yeah, that is something that I'm saving for like the summertime. So this is that one. I haven't also tried the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I have a feeling this is going to be similar to the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer for me, so something that I would use sort of like in more targeted areas. So yeah, I have pumped a little bit out to see what the consistency is like, but I haven't actually used it. Another one I've checked the consistency of but not used. This is the Paul & Joe. This is the Illuminating Foundation Primer in the shade 1. This is stunning, and it is one that I think will be nice for sort of really special occasions underneath like a more full coverage foundation. This has got like a pinky lavender pearl to it, as you can see, and it's very similar to the others in that it just adds that perfect sort of filter. Well, I imagine it would. As I say, I haven't used it, but yeah, that gorgeous like purpley pinky sheen, which purple and pink is very brightening anyway on my skin tone. So yeah, that's that one. And just to show you the Neoad photography fluid, it does dry down, so it doesn't sort of stay tacky or anything, whereas the Wake Up Balm from Estee Lauder and the Sun Touch SPF, they stay sort of tacky. And then I've tried all of these others, but again, I have so many primers that they don't get the love that they deserve. So this is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This is another one that is kind of a favourite. I do have a type when it comes to a primer. So this is like a radiant, sort of has a bit of a pearl running through it. And it's because it's from Ole Henriksen, which is a skincare line. He's a dermatologist, I think. It has skincare properties in it as well. Looks absolutely beautiful on the skin, and foundation makeup sits wonderfully on top of it. So that's another favourite of mine. Then we have another favourite is the Glossier Future Dew. This is one that I was worried that I would it would expire before I got my use out of it, but it's absolutely fine. Texture of it is still exactly the same as always. Smells absolutely fine. Again, it's that similar type to the others. This is a skincare primer hybrid. It's an oil and a serum in one, and it has that pearl running through it, but this one is super hydrating, as you can see, but it does soak into the skin beautifully, and makeup sits gorgeously on top of it. So the pearl isn't sort of super, you know, super in your face. It is there, don't know whether you can see, but it's more that sort of, it makes your skin look really juicy and fresh and really youthful. And when I first got this, I was worried that my foundation would slip and slide on top of it, because it is quite like a greasy, it's an oil, but no, foundation sits absolutely lovely on top. Doesn't slip and slide, makeup doesn't wear off weird. It's just, it's a gorgeous primer. And I'm starting to get a bit messy, but I don't want to wipe them all off my arm, because I want you to be able to see like comparisons. So next up we have another very glowy, dewy one. This is the Glowy Super Gel in the shade Star Glow. So Say are a clean beauty brand. They have two shades of this. They have like a really bronzy one, as well as this one, and this is stunning. I've seen quite a lot of YouTubers hate this product, but I absolutely love it, and they also complain about the smell of it, and I think it's beautiful. It's like quite a herbal smell, so I suppose if you're not into that sort of thing, it's not going to be for you. But just look, it's very similar actually to the Glossier Future Dew, in that it's sort of, it's like it's got skin loving, skin caring properties in it as well, and it just makes your skin look so beautiful under foundation. I mean, look at that. That is just so stunning. I've only used this once, but when I used it that first time, I could tell that this would probably be a favourite product of mine. So definitely need to use it more, but absolutely love. Okay guys, so I'm getting a very shimmery in the sunlight. I'm just going to show you my arm. Isn't that gorgeous? And like I say, you can see I definitely have a type, and for good reason. Look at that, so beautiful. Okay, another absolute favourite, the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. Again, very similar to the others that I've showed you. This is a sort of a golden like radiant product. This again is so pretty on the skin. Foundation sits absolutely stunning on it, and like the Say, it seemed to do something really good for my skin. It's almost like giving your skin a treat at the same time as putting makeup on. So this one has more of a bronzy gold to it. I'm not sure whether you can see because of the angle, but yeah. So that's the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. A drugstore alternative, which I actually really like this, for that sort of, you know, like the Glossier Future Dew type of look. The Wet n Wild Prime Focus Primer Serum. This is a hydrating serum that has that, I'm not sure whether you can see, it's got like a peachy golden shift to it, and this feels and looks gorgeous on the skin. So you can see sort of like the pearl running through it, and it just feels really nice because it's that like serum consistency. It just soaks right in to the skin, but it is very hydrating. So yeah, that's if you like that sort of primer that I do, that's a great sort of drugstore alternative. And then I'm sure everybody knows what this one looks like and how this one acts on the skin. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This, I know that a lot of people actually wear this on its own, but it is, for me, a little bit too Tin Man-esque. I absolutely love it under foundation if I'm wearing more of a matte full coverage foundation, but I discovered that I absolutely love this as a liquid highlighter. I do keep it in with my primers because I use it for both, but when I took this on holiday with me, and I found that this, I took the Revlon Skin Lights highlighter with me, which is quite an intense highlighter, and for more subtle natural days this looked absolutely beautiful, just dotted onto the high points. But this comes in sort of like skin tone shades, so it does have quite a bit of base pigment to it, and it has that beautiful golden sheen. I actually think it would be lovely to have one of these in a much deeper shade to use as like a radiant cream bronzer sort of situation, but I'm not sure whether you can see, I'm trying to angle it into the light. Let me hold it up so you can see there you go, you can see the sheen on it, and you can see that in comparison to the others it does have quite a bit of base pigment and coverage to it, but it is absolutely stunning. And then lastly we have, again, very similar excuse me, very similar to the others, the Nars Glow Booster. This is like the Hollywood Flawless Filter, but it's not, it doesn't have as much coverage in it. I'm going to put it next to the Flawless Filter. You can see it's a much thinner consistency. Again, it's like a skin tone shade, but it is a bit thinner. And I'm going to hold it up to the light again. They're pretty much almost identical, if I'm honest, but I think the Flawless Filter has a little bit more of a silvery reflect, and it's a bit of it's much thicker consistency. So that's it, guys, that's all my primers. I'm going to clean off my arm now and we'll go into foundations. Okay, so we are now on to foundations. I've cleaned off my arm, but I am still a little bit glowy. I don't think I'm going to be swatching foundations as I did with primers because I'm not sure how helpful that will be. I will swatch a couple of the more unusual ones, but yeah, I don't particularly see how helpful me swatching the foundations is going to be for you. So I'm starting off with like more lighter coverage skin tint style. One of my first of all, I'm going to talk about my absolute favourite discovery of 2021, and that is Huda Beauty Glowish. I am still working on my little original sample. This is in my project pan. I've probably only got a couple more uses. There's actually a lot more in here than I initially thought. And I bought 2 full sizes, so I got different shades. So I got my normal shade, which is 1 fair, and then I got as I said with like the Hollywood Flawless filter, it'd be nice to have like a deep bronzy shade. I actually did do that with the Huda Beauty Glowish to sort of use as, well, first of all, the way I use Glowish is I don't use it as a foundation, as I know a lot of people do, or as a primer, as I've seen other people use it. I actually love mixing this in with my foundations. I am definitely a mixologist when it comes to my foundations. It's actually very rare that I will just wear one foundation straight on its own. I often mix my products, so I'll mix, like, say something like the Milani Glow with a more full coverage matte foundation, and the Glowish is absolutely perfect to do that. It was my favourite product of 2021. I'm going to, so this is the shade for light medium, and I actually, when I got 5 medium, I had wanted to get number 4, but they were sold out, so I thought that would be sort of an ideal alternative. And I actually, because this is too deep for me, I love mixing this in with my sort of paler foundations, and this is just such a stunning product. This does something for my skin that no other product has ever done. I feel my most beautiful when I am wearing this product, and that is saying a lot. So say what you want about Huda, about the brand, I love this product. And it is a skincare hybrid, so it does have skin loving properties in it, and as I say, my skin just loves this product. So that is my little sample that I'm working through, and just to give you sort of an idea, one of my absolute favourite combos that I discovered this year is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation mixed with the Huda Glowish. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, that's my little mini of it, and then I'll take these out the boxes. I'm not going to swatch them because I actually haven't broken the seal on. I have on the fairest, but I haven't on medium, I don't think. If I have, I will swatch them for you. So this is the shade Fair, and this is my like perfect skin tone shade. Yeah, I've swatched this one, so I'll put a little bit of this on so you can see shade comparison. And as you can see, this is actually very, very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, but I actually prefer the Glowish. I'll be honest. I just think my skin just loves it more. I find the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, because it dries down quite matte, and I have very dry skin, that this just suits and sits better on my skin. And then on the medium shade, I'm not sure whether I've swatched this. Yes, I have. Oh. So this is the medium shade, and the idea for this is to, when I've self-tanned, add this into my lighter foundations, because it's got that beautiful bronzy glow to it. And I can also use this as to to do the technique that Tati does, where she contours and highlights, which is the Scott Barnes method, I think, underneath her foundation, so I can actually use this to sculpt my face before putting foundation on top. So that was the idea with that shade. So that is Glowish, something I've probably talked to death about this year, but I just absolutely adore it. And then another favourite discovery of 2021 is the Chanel Le Beige water tint. I absolutely love this for great skin days. Oh. So this is a very strange product. As you can see, it looks like it's gone off, but it's not. It is actually like that in the tube. It is literally water with a tint in it, so it's got pigment bubbles suspended in it, and it comes with its little brush, and that is actually my favourite way to apply it, with the brush that it comes with. And when you blend into the skin with the brush, the little pearls break, and the more you work this, the more coverage you get, and it just looks stunning on the skin. And that was quite a lot that I just used, so I'm just gonna massage that in, and as you can see, it gets more coverage the more you use it, and it's just a stunning product. My skin just looks gorgeous with this on. Bit of cream bronzer, cream blush, set with, I like to use my Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow powder with it, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous combination. But right, so next up we have Fenty Beauty Eavesdrops. I know this was very mixed in its reviews. I know it made it onto a lot of people's favourites of 2021, but it also made it onto quite a few worst of products of 2021. I have yet to form a proper opinion on this. I only used it once when it first came out in a like trying, like I did a testing video of it. I wasn't 100% when I first used it. I found that it emphasised my dry patches, and it sort of gathered in places, but I haven't given it enough of a test to form a solid opinion of it. So I've kept it in the box to sort of remind me to use it, and I haven't yet. But I'm not ready to declutter it because I want to give it a proper run. A YouTuber who I respect greatly and we have very similar tastes is Marion from the Glam Donut, and I know that this made it into her favourites. We have similar taste and sort of similar skin. I think I'm quite a bit drier than her, but she loves this, so yeah, I definitely want to give it more of a shot. Another favourite discovery of 2021 was the Dior Backstage Face and Body. This is sort of like, it's branded as a, like a, not branded, sort of like touted as a skin tint, like a lighter coverage foundation, but I actually find that this has really great coverage. I've got mine in the shade 1C, 1 Cool. This is absolutely beautiful. It is the perfect level of coverage for me. Again, I took this on sort of a short break away. I used it once and then couldn't put it down. I absolutely love it. Another one that I have had in my collection for quite a while but only sort of started using in 2021 is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder. This is, it's kind of like a light coverage foundation with the Wonder Glow primer mixed into it. It has like a radiance to it. It is sort of like a more lighter coverage. This is in the shade Too Fair, and oh, it just looks so gorgeous. I will show you the consistency of it. So for a sort of light coverage foundation, it actually, to me, it's like a light medium, and it's got that sort of radiance to it, as you can see, and it's stunning, absolutely stunning. I love this foundation. I do have another Charlotte Tilbury foundation which I only use for very certain occasions, and this is by far my favourite. I really want to try her new one, but I'm on a no buy at the moment, so unless somebody gets it me for my birthday, I'm going to be holding off. But this is it for me as far as Charlotte Tilbury foundations go. And then I have the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint. This is one that I love to mix. So this is very much a skin tint. There is very little coverage to this at all. It sort of blends away into nothing, and if I'm having a super light makeup day, which I do quite often, then I will reach for this one. But I love mixing this one, so I have quite a few samples of the Dior Forever, which is their matte foundation, matte full coverage, and I love to mix these two together. I treat this more as like mixing drops than an actual sort of standalone foundation, but it's gorgeous. Again, it just does something great for my skin. Again, I keep thinking that this is going to go bad on me because I've had it for quite a while, but it's absolutely fine. It smells great, texture's not changed at all, so yeah. And then one that I thought was going to be like a drugstore dupe for that one is the NYX Bear With Me Luminous Tinted Skin Serum. But this actually has more coverage than the Glossier. I love this. Again, this made it onto a lot of people's hated products of 2021. But I love it, and I think this is genius. This like applicator is genius. Basically, you unscrew this little tip and then you like squeeze this and the product comes out, and you can sort of like dot it straight onto your skin. But yeah, this is gorgeous. It's got more of it's like a gel consistency to it, but it just looks stunning. It does have a slight sheen to it, and my skin loves this. It just looks so healthy, radiant and perfected. So very light coverage, but I find it has more coverage than the Glossier when you actually put it on your skin. And then lastly in this category, I have the Milani Glow. Another one that I know got very mixed results from people, but again, I love it. It's one that I haven't used much. I have used it a few times, but not a lot. I like wearing this on its own, and I also like mixing it with like the Dior Forever. It has radiance to it. Oh, it's a bit separated. That's the only thing with this. It has a lot of squalane in it, and it does separate. So, but I haven't had this all that long. There we go. So it's a very, again, gel-like consistency. It has a decent amount of coverage, but the glow, on this thing is unbelievable. It doesn't dry down, it stays quite tacky, so if you don't like that, it's probably not the product for you. Again, it has sort of a radiance to it, and it's just lovely. Not one that I wear a powder really on top of, because as I say, it does sort of set down to be quite dewy. I don't really wear much powder anyway, but with this I'll just sort of set under my eyes and like anywhere that I would put concealer. But I think you've got to have a very certain type of makeup style and skin type to appreciate this product, and my dry skin just really enjoys it. So that's all like my lighter coverage skin tint ones. Now we'll move on to like traditional foundations. Okay, and lastly we have like traditional more fuller coverage foundations. So firstly I have 3 samples of Dior foundation. So I've got 2 of the Dior Forever in shade 1N. This is like a matte full coverage foundation, and this is not the reformulated version, this is the original one. Dior have just reformulated 2 of their best selling foundations, which I don't understand, but they've reformulated the Dior Forever, which is like the matte one, and then the Forever Skin Glow, which I also have a sample of, which is like a more glowy, radiant finish. So I have these 3 samples, which I want to finish this year, and I absolutely love mixing these little Dior Forever samples with like my glowish and things like that. So I also have a sample of It Cosmetics CC cream, which I can't find at the moment, but that's another one that I'm trying to finish this year. So that's 4 minis that I've got to finish. I have 2 of the It Cosmetics CC cream. This is one of my favourite foundations ever. I have the shade Fair, which is like my normal shade, and then I have the shade Light, which is like more of my fake tan shade. I'm working on the Light at the moment in my project pan. This is gorgeous. I don't class this as a tinted moisturiser or really a CC cream, because it has very good coverage, medium full coverage, just an all-round great foundation. No matter the occasion or time of year, this is a wonderful foundation. Very similar to the It Cosmetics CC cream is the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear foundation. Another one of my all-time favourite foundations. This just has a really lovely finish. Very good coverage. Again, medium to high coverage in my opinion. Sits really nicely on my skin. Stays sort of like, it's not dewy so much as it doesn't cling to any dry patches. It doesn't look flat matte on the skin. It's a really great all-rounder for me. A couple of favourites that I discovered in 2021. Nars Sheer Glow has fast taken the top spot as favourite foundation for me. This is my perfect level of coverage. This is in the shade Mont Blanc, which is light 2. It's perfect shade for me. It has like a medium coverage, stays lovely and sort of radiant. It more of like that. It is what it says. It's like a sheer glow, but I wouldn't call it sheer. It's more of like your skin is glowing through the foundation. It's just I can't say enough good things about this foundation. I absolutely love it. And then another one that I actually find similar to the Sheer Glow is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion. I adore this foundation as a drugstore sort of version of, I wouldn't say they're exactly the same, but they are close. This is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. The only thing is I've got the shade it's number 1, it's the lightest shade. I think it's something like Alabaster or something like that. It's a little bit too light for me, just slightly, and I love mixing it, as I've already said, with my Huda Glowish, just to give me a little bit more colour to it. But it is a gorgeous, gorgeous foundation. Favourite drugstore foundation of 21, closely followed by the NYX Born To Glow. Again, very similar, although I would say the NYX has a bit more coverage. It's a, as it says, it's a naturally radiant foundation, and that I would totally agree with. This is in light porcelain. Again, a tad too pale for me. Since I have been on the menopause injections, my face is permanently flushed, and I find my very light foundations look a little bit odd on top of it. So I've been sort of like preferring something a bit warmer, like say the Dior Forever Skin Glow. You can see the slight difference in tone. But yeah, 2 great drugstore favourites. Another great drugstore is the Milani Screen Queen. This is another gorgeous, gorgeous foundation. Very natural, as it says, it's a natural finish foundation. The only thing that pips the light illusion to the post for me is this is more matte, and I do love a glow, but it's just a great all-rounder. If I was working, this would be one that I'd sort of wear every day to work. It's just a great, you know, straight down the middle, perfect foundation. So really, really like that. L'Oreal True Match. This is the super blendable foundation, like their reformulated version. I've only used this once, I'm ashamed to say, but the original True Match was a favourite of mine. Several years ago, it was the only foundation that I really used, and I went through several bottles of it. Again, very similar to the Milani Screen Queen. It's kind of like a Goldilocks foundation. It's just like a perfect everyday foundation. It just has a tad more coverage than the Milani. Very full coverage foundations drugstore are the Maybelline Superstay. These are foundations that I tend to go to if I'm going out. So if I've got like a special occasion, or I'm gonna be hot, like sweating, or it used to be my clubbing foundation when we did those things. It's very full coverage, very matte, but it's sort of like, it's a bulletproof foundation, and has become a very well used mixing foundation of mine. I love mixing this with my Glowish for days when I'm, say, going out shopping all day and I want my foundation to stay put, wear well under a mask, but I just add that bit of the Glowish just to give me that little bit of glow. Yeah, this is a great drugstore all-rounder. One of my all-time favourite foundation, it was my all-time favourite foundation before I discovered the Nars Sheer Glow, the Clinique Beyond Perfecting. This is a great coverage foundation, but it's not too high coverage, it's not too matte, it just, my skin loves it. I feel really beautiful when I wear this foundation. It's got a doe foot applicator, which I don't love because the cap from inside keeps coming off and you don't get a lot of product, so you have to keep dipping constantly. But yeah, the actual product itself is stunning. The most matte full coverage foundation in my collection is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless foundation. I didn't buy this. This was a gift with purchase when my parents got me my birthday makeup last year. I very rarely wear this foundation. I only wear this for absolute best special occasions, when I want my face to look like perfect and I don't want that makeup to budge for many hours. So for instance, I wore this for my mum's birthday meal, I wore it for Christmas, like our Christmas day. That's really sort of like my special occasion foundation, so it doesn't get very much use from me, but it is one that I do like to keep in my collection because I do rely on it for those special occasions. Two I haven't yet used are the Armani Luminous Silk. So I have the original Luminous Silk and then I have the Cushion foundation. I know I'm going to love these because they, you know, everybody who this is their favourite foundation, they like the same sort of foundations as me, so I know I'm going to love them. My makeup bucket list for 2022 is to get some good use out of both of these. And then another favourite discovery of 21 was the Dior Forever Skin Glow. This is just a gorgeous foundation. Again, it's a special occasion foundation because it has great coverage but not too much. Leaves a nice sort of, it's not very radiant, it just has that like natural skin glow. It just looks like skin. I'm in the shade 1N in this one. Unfortunately, as I said, Dior have reformulated this, and I know Michelle Wong, who absolutely loved the original, doesn't like the new one, so I'm a bit disappointed, but this is a relatively new bottle and I've only used it a couple of times, so I'm not going to need to replace it anytime soon. So those are all of my foundations. We're just going to quickly go through my concealers and correctors. Okay, so finishing on concealers. I don't have a massive concealer collection. With concealers, I tend to just use one at a time until it's finished. So some of these, as you can see, I haven't even used yet because I try, where possible, not to open a concealer until I've sort of finished another one. Although there are several here that are open and used, that I've had like in Shop My Stashes and things like that, but for this year I am working on sort of finishing one at a time. So at the moment I'm working on my Nabla close-up concealer. This is in my project pan. I really like this concealer, but because I tend to consistently use one, I can't really say what's a favourite and what isn't. Probably my favourite concealer that I've ever used is the Nars Radiant Creamy, but I haven't repurchased it because I have so many to go through. So like I say, it's hard for me to say, oh, I absolutely love this, because I don't have a lot of concealer experience. It's not a product that really excites me. So this is great. you know, it's absolutely fine. I don't like this for spot concealing. I only use it under my eyes. And if I was to say anything negative about it, is that it's perhaps a little matte, because I am dry skinned and I have textured under eyes, like fine lines, that sort of thing. It's a little bit matte. It doesn't crease or gather or anything like that, but sometimes it can look a little bit dry under there. A brand new concealer that I haven't tried yet is the Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection concealer. I got mine in the shade L1, the lightest shade. I know this is a lot of people's favourite concealers, so I'm really excited to try that. One that I have purchased several of and gone through quite a lot of, because these little ones don't last very long, is the Revolution Conceal and Define. Very similar, I would say, to the Nabla, although perhaps a little bit less dry under the eyes. If I was to only buy drugstore concealers, I would probably stick to the Revolution Conceal and Define. It's just a great all-rounder, and it's so inexpensive. I have, however, discovered the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and whilst I've only used it a few times, this is a lovely, lovely concealer. Very full coverage, but looks beautiful on my dry under eyes. The colour's great. I'm in the shade Light Ivory. It's just a beautiful concealer for a drugstore concealer. Another one that I really enjoyed was the NYX Born To Glow. Very similar in sort of like finish, although the Born To Glow has less coverage than the Camo concealer, and I don't love these sponge applicators. I know you can take them off, but I just haven't bothered because I don't want to, you know, face the mess and stuff. But yeah, these are really nice drugstore concealers. Another one I haven't opened or tried is the Laura Mercier Ultra Longwear Flawless Fusion Concealer. Again, I know this is a favourite of a lot of people, so I'm looking forward to trying that one. One that I love for spot concealing as well as under my eyes is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. This is the stick. This is a lovely concealer. It's one that I bought on a whim because it was in the sale, and I didn't think I was going to like it because I'm not usually a fan of stick concealers, but this is so creamy, and the coverage on it is lovely. It's not really dry. It doesn't sort of settle into fine lines or anything. Prefer it as a spot concealer than under my eyes, just simply for the fact that I don't love like rubbing this on my under eyes. I don't want to drag or pull the skin there. But yeah, this is a lovely concealer, and one I never hear anybody talk about. I know a lot of people love the, you know, traditional cream sort of version of this, the Jouer high coverage concealer, but I haven't tried that one. One I've only used once for a video was the Dior Forever Skin Correct. Really liked it when I used it, but haven't used it enough to form a solid opinion on it. And then another top favourite discovery of 2021 is the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix. This is technically a corrector. It comes in a variety of shades, different like correcting shades as well as skin tone shades. I've got mine in the shade Rose Quartz, which is the lightest one. It has, as you would imagine, that like pinky tone to it. A lot of people don't like the applicator of this, but I actually really like the feel of, like, it's so gentle, and it stops it being super messy. You can just squeeze a small amount out and then like massage into the under eye, and this is so brightening, as the name would suggest. Doesn't have a ton of coverage, but it's enough coverage for me, and I absolutely love it. The colour's perfect, and it just feels really nice. It feels super comfortable on my under eyes. And then lastly, I have the Glossier Stretch Concealer. This is a favourite of mine. I just love how it feels under my eyes. I love the consistency of it. It's super creamy, super emollient, but it doesn't sort of make my under eyes look too heavy. It's just a really great concealer. Not too much coverage, but like I say, just perfect, just enough. And then I have two correctors. I have the Becca Pistachio. This is a green colour corrector, one that I don't really use very often, even though I am suffering with a lot of redness at the moment. I just never think to pull this out, but this is just a green colour corrector to combat redness. Exactly the same formula as the under eye brightener, which I know is a lot of people's favourites, but alas, Becca is no more. Although I think Smashbox now has the Becca brand, and they've re-released this. This is a super emollient under eye brightener, like a pinky colour corrector. I actually prefer the Fenty because I prefer the consistency of this. This is quite a balmy emollient one, and I tend to use this sort of underneath normal concealer to help sort of set it down, whereas the Fenty I just use on its own. So that's it. That's my top drawer of my makeup storage. That's all my foundations, concealers, primers. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I know it's a long one. All of these are probably going to be more on the long side because I'm going into detail and swatching things. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you watch the rest of the series. I hope you're having a great start to 2022. Keep being kind to yourself. Keep loving yourself. Keep loving each other. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.